LVM Versicherungsagentur René Schäfer, ein starker Partner, wenn es um Versicherungen geht. Dein persönlicher Ansprechpartner, der jederzeit bei Problemen für dich einsteht. Rufen Sie jetzt an und vereinbaren Sie einen Termin bei der LVM Versicherungsagentur René Schäfer Nidderau. Hallo, herzlich willkommen bei Bahnsport TV. Ich bin's wieder, euer Bandy. Liebe Bahnsportfreunde, Bahnsportfreundinnen. Am Montag, den 1.9. fand in der Schwedischen Liga die Begegnung zwischen Rospiggarna Hallstavik und Dackarna Malilla statt. Rospiggarna Hallstavik, wissen wir ja, ist die Mannschaft von Huckenbeck. Er startet für diese Mannschaft dort. Und wie das Rennen gelaufen ist und was es alles bei dem Rennen zu sehen gab, jetzt im Anschluss, und ich wünsche euch gute Unterhaltung. Bis nachher, nach dem Rennen.
Speedway fans, and a warm welcome to a warm and sunny Sweden. We're at the Credentia Arena in Hallstavik for Swedish Bauhaus Liga action between Rospiggarna and Dackarna. Just in time, the 2-minute warning sounding for heat number 1. Rospiggarna joint top of the league with 8 points with Leonen, while Dackarna in 4th place, a point behind 3rd place Masana. They've got out here to take you through the action. We'll quickly run you through the teams ahead of this first heat. For Rospiggarna, skipper Rasmus Jensen goes at number 1. At 2 is Kenneth Hansen, 3 Thomas Jonasson, 4 Kai Huckenbeck, 5 Timo Lahti, 6 is Daniel Henderson. Number 7, it should have been Emil Milberg. He's withdrawn with a shoulder injury, so no number 7 reserve for Rospiggarna. Bridges, the man in yellow, riding on his former home track tonight, taking on the Danish pair here. Rasmus Jensen, the skipper of Rospiggarna, partnering Kenneth Hansen. He's had a couple of spells racing in the UK. Rasmus Jensen, of course, an Elite League winner, Premiership winner, I should say. I still get that wrong. In the UK with Sweden recently. He's off gate 2 in red. Jakob Torshäll is off the inside in yellow. Joel Kling, gate 3 in white. It's Kenneth Hansen, gate 4 in blue. Settling in then, ready for heat number 1, where we'll do our best to keep you up to date with the other 3 matches, of course, taking place this evening in Sweden. Round 6 already of the Swedish League. Only 3 rounds of the league programme to go before the playoffs, which every team will take part in this year. So here we go then with heat number 1. The Revs rise and they're away. Decent start by the man on the inside, Jakob Torshäll. He's got the lead ahead of Rasmus Jensen in red. 3rd place in blue, it is Kenneth Hansen as they go down the back straight on this. So one of the smaller tracks in the Swedish Bauhaus Liga. Joel Kling at the back, but it is Jakob Torshäll who leads the way in yellow. And a great season in Sweden, the man who spent several years with Wolverhampton in the UK, the current Swedish national champion as well. And he leads the way ahead of Rasmus Jensen in 2nd place. We saw him skipper Rospiggarna to victory at Piratana in last week's match, 47-43. Jensen scoring 11 points. Kenneth Hansen picked up 5. He's back in 3rd place at the moment. They split into 2 races in 1 here, effectively, in this heat number 1. It is Jakob Torshäll who sets the pace ahead of Rasmus Jensen. Still clear of the man in blue, Kenneth Hansen in 3rd place. It's like Torshäll is going to hang on to take the victory. He does, ahead of Rasmus Jensen in 2nd, Kenneth Hansen 3rd, and Joel Kling at the back. So a share of the points to kick off the night then, 3 apiece. Torshäll, the winner, gets the 3 points. Rasmus Jensen 2, Kenneth Hansen 1, nothing for Joel Kling.
Han gör det väldigt bra. Bra fin start och håller linjespåret här som man bör göra första heatet. Och han har gjort många varvar.
First words to the visitors then, in terms of race wins, with Jakob Torshäll continuing his fine season in Sweden this year, taking the first win of the night. Rasmus Jensen not able to get up level with him, and then further back, Kenneth Hansen holding off Joel Kling, third place. So continuing his good form, he scored 13 points for Dackarna last week as they lost to league leaders Leonen 50-40 at their home track of Malilla. Incidentally, we go to Malilla next Tuesday night, the 8th of September, to see Dackarna take on Västervik. That will be our next Swedish action on Premier Sports. Kenneth Hansen had the measure, meanwhile, of the man in white Joel. Well, some sad news in the Speedway world today as Speedway learned of the sad passing of the 1973 world champion Jerzy Szakil from Poland in his hometown of Opole, winner of one of the more controversial world finals in Speedway history, beating Ivan Major in Iraq, the first Polish rider to be world Speedway champion. Sadly passed away after a long period of illness at the age of 71. Our condolences to everyone who knew him. Rest in peace, Jerzy Szakil, the first Polish World Speedway champion. We move on to heat number 2 then here at Hallstavik. Gate 1 in blue, it will be Kai Huckenbeck. He had a good meeting last week, 11 points for the German. Gate 2 in white is Theo Johansson, the only change in Dackarna's top 6. After last week's defeats to Leonen, he replaces Matthias Nielsen. Thomas Jonasson is off gate 3 in red. He picked up 9 points last week for Rospiggarna, and it's the skipper of the visitors from Dackarna, Hans Andersson, the experienced Dane, off the outside in yellow. Here we go then with heat number 2. 3-all the score. A poor start by the rider in white, Theo Johansson. Leading the way into the first turn in blue, it is Kai Huckenbeck. He's had a great season in Sweden so far, and it is the home side 1 and 2. If they win tonight and Leonen fail to beat Piraterna at home, then the Rospiggarna side will go top of the table. Although with Leonen at the top and Piraterna at the bottom, that is unlikely. We will keep an eye on the scores from elsewhere later on. Hans Andersson on the wrong end of a 5-1 here in yellow, trying to chase down the man in red, Thomas Jonasson, former Bellevue, Poole and Edinburgh man among others in the UK, in second place. But away goes Kai Huckenbeck, former Kings Lynn Stars rider, one of Germany's leading Speedway riders, out in front. Hans Andersson tucked in there on the inside. Former Grand Prix star, the Dane. Right on the inner curve there, chasing now Thomas Jonasson for second place. Theo Johansson, the youngster, a long way behind. He was at number 7 last week for Dackarna, picked up 1 point, but it is a 5-1 to the home side. Huckenbeck the winner ahead of Jonasson. Third place to Hans Andersson. Johansson at the back, so that means that Rospiggarna take the lead, 8 points to 4 after heat number 2. Huckenbeck picks up the club flag, splendid in the colours of red and white, a new signing by Rospiggarna this season. 2 club flags in the air, the first 5-1 of the evening. Don't forget social media via Twitter at @midsportsmedia if you have any messages tonight. Straightforward 5-1 in heat number 2 for Rospiggarna. The German making a cracking start from the inside gate. He led all the way, backed up by the man in red, Thomas Jonasson, Thomas H. Jonasson, as he's usually gone by in Speedway. Hans Andersson unable to get past him. Theo Johansson a long way behind in white. And it's 8-4 after heat number 2. Heat 3 coming up next then. Going off gate 1 in yellow will be Oliver Berntsen, a Grand Prix rider for 2021. Came through the Grand Prix Challenge in Croatia recently, along with Matej Zegar of Slovenia and Christoph Kasprak, the former World Championship podium finisher. Gate 2 in blue, we will see Daniel Henderson. Those who were watching last week will have seen him pick up 11 points from the reserve berth. There he is, making the move up from the Allsvenskan League this season. Does a bit of ice racing in the winter as well. Gate 3 in white, we have the brilliantly named Avon van Dijk. Of course, achieved a bit of notoriety earlier this season when he had that awful crash with Peter Jung in the season opener at Vetlanda. Thankfully, Peter only suffering concussion as he was flung over the fence. And gate 4 in red, back in action. Timo Lahti was missing from the Rospiggarna lineup last week. But the Finn is back in action here, going from the outside. Really a name to British fans, at Eastbourne among others over the years. See how he gets on tonight. There are 2 6-rider teams this evening, no number 7 reserve for each side. We said Emil Nilberg out with a shoulder injury, would have been at number 7 for Rospiggarna otherwise. No rider replacements either tonight. 8-4 the score. Can Rospiggarna extend their lead further over 4th place in the table? Dackarna. Daniel Henderson will have to settle on gate 2 in blue. He's had a great season so far. Revs begin to rise then, and away they go. Great start from the outside by Timo Lahti. Tries to cut across on the run to the first turn. It's Oliver Berntsen, the Grand Prix newcomer for 2021, who has the lead as they go down the back straight. Henderson in 3rd place. Avon van Dijk, the teenager, at the back in whites. Complete the first lap then with Berntsen in the lead. Trying to chase him down is Timo Lahti, sponsored as many Finnish sportsmen are by Mad Croc. That's a great brand name. I believe it's an energy drink, Mad Croc. Trying to go for the inside there as they come through turns 3 and 4. 3rd place in blue, it is Daniel Henderson. He's safely ahead of Avon van Dijk at the moment, but Timo Lahti chasing down Oliver Berntsen for the lead. Trying to go through on the inside. There's not a lot of grip out there. It has been a warm day here in Sweden. It looks as though Berntsen is fairly safe at the front. Now well clear of the 3rd place man, Daniel Henderson. Looks like it's going to be a 3-all from heat number 3. Oliver Berntsen takes the win ahead of Timo Lahti. Daniel Henderson, Avon van Dijk at the back. The lead gap remains the same then, 11 points to 7, the lead for Rospiggarna after heat number 3. The win going to Oliver Berntsen, 2nd for Timo Lahti, 3rd for Daniel Henderson. Three heats gone then. Let's take a quick look at the scores from elsewhere as well. 1 heat completed at Gislaved. It's Leonen 3, Pirotina 3. Same score between Västervik and Massana. And the same score between Vetlanda and Indiana as well. So those 3 matches with a slight think then feature match here. Oliver Berntsen all the way, despite the best efforts of Timo Lahti in red. Daniel Henderson had the measure of Avon van Dijk for 3rd place. Two race wins for Dackarna, but also 3 last places as well. Let's see, try and catch Rospiggarna. 3 heats gone then. A couple of your messages that have come in. Hi to David Kafaki, offering his condolences to the family and friends of Yerchi Shakil. Welcome back to Sweden, here at the Credentia Arena in Hallstavik. It's Rospiggarna 11, Dackarna 7 in tonight's Bauhaus Liga Speedway match. Heat number 4 at the tapes with Thomas Jonasson off gate 1 in red for the home side. Gate 2 for the visitors in white, it's Joel Kling. Gate 3 in blue, we have Kai Huckenbeck. And gate 4 in yellow, it's Jakob Torshell. This pairing for the home side took a 5-1 first time out in Heat 2. They're up against Jakob Torshell, who's going for 2 wins out of 2 from gate 3. So all 3 heats have been won from the inside gate so far, so that could give Jonasson the advantage here in red. Joel Kling yet to score alongside him. Kai Huckenbeck was the winner of heat number 2 in blue. Jonasson on 2+1. Incidentally, interesting to note that in all 3 of the other matches tonight, every single heat so far has been a 3-all. 6-all between Leonen and Pirotina, 9-all in the other 2 matches. We're about to get underway. Heat number 4 here at Hallstavik. Good start by Jonasson from the inside, but a better start by Jakob Torshell, and the rider in yellow takes the lead around the outside and is already clear as they go down the back straight. Of Jonasson in 2nd, Huckenbeck in blue is in 3rd place. They complete the first lap. Jakob Torshell, certainly the fastest man in Sweden so far this season. Giving chase at the back is Joel Kling in white. No stopping Jakob Torshell here tonight. 3-all as it stands at the moment. The gap will still be 4 points, 11-7 after 3 heats. Shell, the Swedish national champion, the Wolverhampton Wolves star, leads the way, increasing his lead now over the Rospiggarna pairing. Jonassen in second place. Huckenbeck, former Kings Lynn man, holding the inside there in blue. Doesn't want to try and race his teammate here. They're not going to catch Torshäll. He's too quick for them. Only his former home track tonight, of course. Jakob Torshäll, 2 wins out of 2 for him. Second in red goes to Jonassen. Third, it's Huckenbeck, and at the back, Kling. 3-3 alls out of the 4 races held so far then. 14-10 the score after 4 heats. Torshäll on 6 points, Jonassen on 4+1, Huckenbeck 4+1, and Joel Kling has yet to score. Jakob Torshäll certainly the quickest rider here tonight. Just going to try and look at the race times. They're not coming up on our graphics from this meeting. The quickest time recorded so far was Oliver Berntsen in Heat 3, 56.6 seconds, quicker than Torshäll in Heat 1 with a 50. Well, Dackarna are taking the race wins, but they're not getting the minor placings. They need heat advantages here. It's just that 5-1 in Heat 2 that's separating the sides by 4 points at the moment. 14-10 after 4 heats. We mentioned the other matches. It's been level all the way in those. I can tell you it's now Leonen 10, Pirotterna 8, a 4-2 in Heat number 3 there. It's 9 apiece between Västervik and Massana, and the same score between Vetlanda and Indiana. It's close in all of our 4 matches so far. 5 coming up next, riding in yellow off the inside, it'll be Hans Andersson. Off gate 2 in red, Timo Lahti. Gate 3 in white is Theo Johansson. And gate 4 in blue, Daniel Henderson. All 4 of these riders without a win between them so far. Andersson will start as the favourite, I would think, going from the inside, although Lahti will be out to stop him in red, beaten in his first ride by Oliver Berntsen. Hans Andersson on the wrong end of a 5-1 in Heat number 2. Henderson with 1+1, and Theo Johansson may well be in for a struggle tonight. The relatively inexperienced youngster in the main body of the team tonight for the first time, I think, replacing Matthias Nielsen, who rode at number 4 for Dackarna in their home defeat to Leonen last week. Massana were some of the stars of last week's racing. They got 2 5-1s in the last 2 heats to grab a draw against Vetlanda. Repeat that news from Poland as well. The match that was going to take place tomorrow between Grudziądz and Wrocław is now going to take place on Thursday evening. The local derby between Gorchov and Zielona Góra, as it stands at the moment, goes ahead tomorrow night. So Speedway every night this week for you. It's Peter Carlson, the manager of Dackarna, the former Wolverhampton legend. Good to see he's still got his Wolves programme board there. We get ready for heat number 5 here at Hallstavik. Andersson, Lahti, Johansson and Henderson. Picks up and away they go. Good start by the men on the inside. Andersson will lead the way into the first one. Oh, he's got out of shape there, makes a mistake, and Timo Lahti says thank you very much. So does Daniel Henderson. They both go through into first and second. Andersson just straightened up there in the middle of turn 1. Now he's got to try and fight back and catch Daniel Henderson, who's shown plenty of flashes of brilliance so far this season. A double-figure score for Rospiggarna in their win at Pirotterna last week. Up there in second place. Away goes Timo Lahti, one of Finland's leading Speedway internationals, with the retirement a couple of years ago of the great Jonas Kilmakorpi, the former multiple world long track champion. Lahti out in front here ahead of Henderson. Here comes Andersson having a look on the inside. It's Johansson at the back in white. Andersson has a look to the inside. Former Pool Pirates, Ipswich Witches, Peterborough Panthers rider, among others in the UK. No problems here for Timo Lahti. He's heading for his first race win of the evening. Is Henderson going to hang on? Yes, he is, for second place. It's a 5-1 for the second time tonight for the home side. And Rospiggarna increase their lead to 18 points. 19 points, I should say, to 11. Club flags in the air once again to celebrate a 5-1. 5 points so far for Timo Lahti. Henderson on 3+2. Andersson on 2. He's conceded 2 5-1s so far. That's quite surprising for the day. And no score for Theo Johansson after 2 rides. 19. See what happened there to Hans Andersson. He made a good start, was level with Timo Lahti into the first turn. He just got a little bit of lift there and then went out wide. Then on he was playing catch-up, but with virtually no grip on this track tonight, probably because of the warm weather we've had in this region of Sweden today, passing completely at a premium, and he wasn't able to get level with Daniel Henderson. A couple of tweets that have come in. Paul says, do you or your viewers think dead heat should be allowed in Speedway after we had a virtual dead heat in Poland last night? Well, it makes filling in your programme a right pain. I'll say that much. They did used to be. It used to be seen quite frequently. Hello to Ian Macbeth as well. We get ready for heat number 6. Rasmus Jensen off gate 1 in red. Oliver Berntsson gate 2 in yellow. Kenneth Hansen gate 3 in blue. And Avon van Dijk gate 4 in white. Berntsson a win first time out in heat number 3. Rasmus Jensen second behind Jakob Torshäll in heat 1. Kenneth Hansen on 1+1. Avon van Dijk yet to score. The only gate that hasn't provided a winner in the first third of this meeting is gate 3. That's where Kenneth Hansen is sitting. The inside gate's certainly the stronger. Robert B says on Twitter, why are there so few fans in the stadium in Sweden, yet Poland can have half-full stadiums? It's all to do with national and local laws and restrictions, I suppose. Given that the entire world is operating on complete uncertainty in just about everything at the moment. Waiting for the rider in yellow to pull up to tapes here. Oliver Berntsson going for 2 wins out of 2. The Grand Prix newcomer for 2021. Here we go then with heat number 6. 19:11 the score. They're underway. Good start by Rasmus Jensen from the inside in red. He'll lead Berntsson into the first turn. Going for the inside in blue is Kenneth Hansen. Berntsson just about holds him off out of turn 2. We have our first 4-2 of the evening here. Out in front in the red helmet is Rasmus Jensen, former Glasgow and Plymouth man, among others. Now with Swindon in the Premiership. He's certainly ridden all over the UK, has Rasmus. The threats here from the rider in yellow. Want to take him wide there. Oliver Berntsson can't get up with him though. Third place in blue. It is Kenneth Hansen. Oliver Berntsson is getting closer here to Rasmus Jensen, but there just isn't the grip quite at the moment for him to get alongside. Now he's got a run on him down the home straight. Berntsson up the inside into turn 1. He's going through. Takes the lead from Rasmus Jensen, who fights back on the inside. Best race of the night so far here in heat number 6. Oliver Berntsson to the lead. Then is Rasmus Jensen going to fight back on the inside. He's got some lift out of turn 4. Doesn't quite manage to do it. And Berntsson it is who takes the win from Rasmus Jensen and Kenneth Hansen. Well, certainly the most entertaining race we've had so far tonight. Ends as another 3 or 4 of them from 6 races. 22-14 the score. Oliver Berntsson unbeaten on 6 then. Rasmus Jensen 4. Kenneth Hansen 2+2. And Avon van Dijk has yet to score. There is Dackarna's downfall so far. They've got 3 riders with no points after 6 heats. Rospiggarna haven't had a last place finisher yet. It's that consistency that's the key. That's why they're 8 points up. Oliver Berntsson, though, getting on with the job of winning races. It's Rasmus Jensen who made the start, but Oliver Berntsson proving you can pass on this track tonight. How far he was behind around the first lap there. He was in the clutches of Kenneth Hansen around the opening lap. Oliver Berntsson did not give up. He chased down the rider in red, Rasmus Jensen. Moved to the inside as they went into the final lap. Jensen going out just a bit wide there into turn 1, and through went Oliver Berntsson to take the lead. Jensen trying a fight back, couldn't find the grip there down the back straight. Good ride by Oliver Berntsson to take the win. 6 heats gone then, Rospiggarna 22. Hi to Stephen Waller on Twitter. Keep your messages coming in. He says that Swedish PA music they're playing would take some getting used to. We normally get heavy rock music played at Swedish meetings. We've already talked about Speedway and music on air a couple of times this season. Just to repeat the news from Poland, we've got 1 match on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday this week. The match at Grudziądz now taking place on Thursday. Try and keep an eye on things between heats to see if there's any further changes. But as it stands, the match between Gorchov and Zielona does go ahead tomorrow evening. As we've seen in the past, Poland and other speedway countries call things off because of a bad weather forecast. In Sweden over the last few years, they've waited for it to stop raining and then spent an hour relaying the track. They do things differently in Sweden. So getting ready for heat number 7 then. It is Daniel Henderson going off the inside gate in blue. Gate 2 in yellow we have Jakob Torshäll. Timo Lahti gate 3 in the red helmet. Should be Joel Kling off the outside in white, who has yet to score. Yes, it is. Thought there may have been a substitute brought in here, but it is Joel Kling. Start Marshall calling them forward. They're taking their time at the starts of the races tonight. Referee Pegger Svedberg might be tempted to hurry them up a little. Henderson with the last to settle on gate 1 in blue. 22-14 the score. And the home side increase their lead, looking to knock Leonen off the top of the table tonight on race points difference. We are underway down to the first turn. A bit of a shove there for Jakob Torshäll from Daniel Henderson, and that's let the rider in red come through. Timo Lahti into second place. Torshäll's gone to the back in yellow. Could this be the end of his hopes of an unbeaten run tonight? Because it's Rospiggarna out in front, and Jakob Torshäll chase them down here, going round the outside of his partner. Joel Kling can't even get ahead of him at the moment. Look at the lead that Rospiggarna have got now. Henderson just got some lift there going down the back straight, so that could lose him a bit of momentum. Torshäll's all over the place on the outside, seems to be struggling here. Can't even get past his teammate on the outside. What's happened to Jakob Torshäll? Is he not coping with the slight change in track conditions? Rider in red, Timo Lahti certainly is. He's away and gone in front ahead of Daniel Henderson, who for me has been the surprise of the Swedish League this season. And Torshäll, having completely dominated his first 2 rides in heats 1 and 4, is going to run a last here. It's going to be a 5-1 to Rospiggarna. They pull away further. The win goes to Lahti ahead of Henderson. It's Kling in third place. Yeah, there was something amiss, certainly for Jakob Torshäll there. Timo Lahti takes the win. A third 5-1 of the meeting for Rospiggarna. 27 points to 15. They now lead. Timo Lahti now on 8 points. Daniel Henderson on 5 plus 3. Joel Kling opens his account with 1, and Jakob Torshäll remains on 6. There goes his maximum. Dackarna slip further behind then in heat number 7. We weren't expecting that at all. He made a decent start there alongside Daniel Henderson. Henderson gave him a big shove there into the first turn. Lahti came through around the outside, and then to take the lead. Did Torshäll's bike take a bit of damage in that bit of contact on the first turn? I'm not sure. He seemed very off the pace there. Even teammates at Joel Kling finishing ahead of him, and he's, to be fair, not looked like scoring a point so far. Timo Lahti in dominant form out in front. 5-1 for the third time in 7 heats for Rospiggarna. They lead by 27 points to 15. And Theo Johansson, there is youngster Theo Johansson. Rasmus Jensen with 2 second places so far, beaten by Jakob Torshäll first time out, and then let his lead slip to Oliver Berntsson in his second ride. Hans Andersson on the wrong end of 2 5-1s so far. He's on 2 points. Going off the inside, it is Kenneth Hansen, pair of third places to his name. Hansen off 1 in blue, Andersson gate 2 in yellow, Jensen gate 3 in red. 3 Danes taking on Swede Theo Johansson off the outside. Certainly a strong Danish presence in the Swedish League this year, with all the uncertainty over whether racing would take place in Denmark this year. No league racing in Britain. It's only really Poland and Sweden staging Speedway at senior level this year. There's been a couple of meetings in Germany and in the Czech Republic as well. Oliver Berntsson looking on, he's due out in heat 9. Looking for his hat-trick. The only unbeaten rider so far is Oliver Berntsson, with that last place for Jakob Torshäll last time out. 27-15 the score then. This is heat number 8. Start Marshall walks away. Will the home side increase their lead further? Well, they made a decent start. The rider in blue, Kenneth Hansen, making a good start. Gate 1 so much stronger than all the others tonight. Coming through on the inside is Rasmus Jensen, side by side with Hans Andersson. The 3 Danes together into turn 3. Andersson fights back. around the outside, and he holds that second place, and spinning off at the back there in white is Theo Johansson. He didn't actually fall off the bike there, he just spun through 180 degrees and came to a complete stop. I don't know what that was all about. Interesting to see a replay of that. He's out of the race, he's on the centre. Now, does that go down in the programme as a fall or a retirement? Because technically he didn't fall off his bike, he just spun off at turn 4. Would it go down as a spin in the programme, maybe? Out in front, meanwhile, is the rider in blue, Kenneth Hansen. Hans Andersen giving chase, though. This is better from the Dane. Into the last lap they go. Up the inside, here comes Andersen. He tries to take Hansen wide, coming out of turn 2 there. Handlebar to handlebar there, down the back straight briefly. Andersen will try again on the inside around the final turn. He's not quite going to get there. Good race there in heat number 8. Hansen the winner. Andersen taking second. That's more like the Hans Andersen we know. And Rasmus Jensen back in third. Theo Johansson. I'll put that down as a retirement, because technically he didn't fall off. 31-17 now the lead. The first 4-2 of the evening in heat number 8. Kenneth Hansen then moves on to 5+1. Second for Hans Andersen, he's on 4. Rasmus Jensen on 5. And Theo Johansson, no score from 3 rides. Good start there by Kenneth Hansen. Gate 1, as we said, so much stronger tonight. Side by side between Jensen and Andersen down into turn 3. Andersen getting round the outside for second. And there we see, that was bizarre from Theo Johansson. Oliver Benson can't believe it either. He just spun through 180 degrees and stopped. Strange incident there. Hans Andersen trying his hardest to take the lead down the back straight for the final time, but Kenneth Hansen able to close the door. And just hanging on for his first win of the evening. Good race there between the... For heat number 9. We mentioned Speedway attendances earlier on, and thanks to Graham Darlington, Wolverhampton fan, who has got in touch, re Jerzy Shakil. He said when Jerzy won his world title in Poland in 1973, it was in front of possibly the biggest ever attendance for a Speedway meeting in history. 130,000 fans watched Jerzy Shakil win that very controversial world final in 1973. Heat number 9 coming up next. That looks like Jakob Torschel off gate 1 to me. It is Jakob Torschel in white replacing Avon van Dijk. So a tactical substitute being brought in here. Jakob Torschel was about to line up in the wrong gate there, I noticed. Oliver Berntsen had to put him right. So tactical substitute Jakob Torschel off gate 1 in the white helmet. Gate 2 in red we have Thomas Jonassen. Gate 3 in yellow it's Oliver Berntsen. And gate 4 in blue is Kai Huckenbeck. A strong lineup here for heat 9. So Peter Carlson brings in a current Wolves rider. The former Wolves rider is the team manager. Current Wolves rider Jakob Torschel will go off gate 1. See if he can get back to winning ways here. He's on 6 points. Gate 2 in red, Thomas Jonassen is on 4 plus a bonus. Gate 3 in yellow, Oliver Berntsen going for a hat-trick. And gate 4 in blue, it's Kai Huckenbeck. He's on 4 plus 1. Is there any way back for Dackarna from here? 14 points down after 8 heats. Rospiggarna looking to continue their fight with Leonen for the top of the table. Of course, everybody rides in the playoffs this year. Top against bottom, second against 7th, and so on in the first round of the playoffs. It's round 6 of 8 in the regular season. See if that addition of Jakob Torschel can make a difference. He's made a good start. So is Kai Huckenbeck from gate 4, trying to get round the outside of the first turn. It's Torschel who's got the lead. He's out of shape there coming off turn 2, though. Huckenbeck nearly hits the fence. The grip almost pulling. They've suddenly found some grip on turn 2, and it almost pulled Kai Huckenbeck into the fence there. Meantime, Thomas Jonassen giving chase to Torschel. Berntsen, currently unbeaten, is back in 3rd in yellow. Now has a go at Jonassen coming out of turn 2. Might be a troublesome spot on the track developing there. You see the riders getting pulled towards the fence again. Jakob Torschel back on form, out in front. It must have been that contact with Daniel Henderson that slowed him up in his 3rd ride in heat number 7. Again, Jonassen tries the inside though, through turns 3 and 4. Here he comes, side by side as they start the final lap. Torschel moves to cover into turn 1. Again, they're a bit out of shape there on that turn 2. Berntsen back in 3rd is going to lose his maximum. Here they come in towards the final turn. It's going to be a win for Jakob Torschel in white. 2nd in red goes to Thomas Jonassen. 3rd is Berntsen, and Kai Huckenbeck at the back in blue. First heat advantage for Dackarna then, but is it too little too late now? They get a 4-2. It's 33-21 after 9 heats. Jakob Torshäll now on 9 points. Thomas Jonasson 6+1. Berntsen beaten for the first time. He's on 7. And Kai Huckenbeck remains on 4+1. Well, the tactical substitute worked. Dackarna pull a couple of points back. Jakob Torshäll makes it 3 wins out of 4. So there'll be no maximums tonight, with Oliver Berntsen having dropped points for the first time there in 3rd place. 9 heats completed, then Torshäll making the most of gate 1 to take the advantage. Huckenbeck tried to go around the outside on the first turn, but watch here, in the middle of turn 2, he suddenly picks up drive and goes out to the fence. There's a pocket of grip there that nobody had found until. Thomas Jonasson chasing hard. Came under threat from Oliver Berntsen briefly. Couldn't catch Jakob Torshäll though. Jonasson trying his hardest on that tighter line. Jakob Torshäll finding grip where nobody else could. And he took the win in heat number 9. 33-21 in favour of Rospiggarna 16. Okay, here we go with heat number 10 then. Oliver Berntsen will be off the inside in white. Gate 2 in blue. It is Kenneth Hansen. Gate 3 in yellow we have Jakob Torshäll, and gate 4 in red will be Timo Lahti. There is Timo Lahti off the outside gate in the red helmet. He's dropped just 1 point so far, beaten in his first ride by Oliver Berntsen. He's on 8 points. Kenneth Hansen 5+2. Jakob Torshäll on 9, 3 race wins, and then last place in heat 7 when he was clipped by Daniel Henderson on the first turn. Whether that caused some damage to his bike, I'm not sure. Oliver Berntsen on 7, his first defeat coming in heat 9. Beaten into 3rd place by Thomas Jonasson. Mike Garner asking on Twitter, are the Swedish playoff matches all over 2 legs? I believe they are, Mike. We'll confirm that later. Meantime, we're ready for heat number 10. Away they go. Fairly close on the run to the first turn. This time it's the man in blue, Kenneth Hansen, who's got the whole shot in the first turn. Look at the rider in red up the inside, Timo Lahti, nearly taking down Oliver Berntsen there coming out of turn 2. Now having a go at Torshäll, and Rospiggarna up into 1st and 2nd once again. The home team looking strong here. What can Jakob Torshäll and Oliver Berntsen do here? The tactical substitution backfiring this time, or is it? Here comes the man in yellow on the inside, Jakob Torshäll. He fights his way. Oh, he's clipped the back of Hansen. Goodness me, too quick there through turn 4. Torshäll is barnstorming his way through. Look at this, and look at the lead he's got now through turn 2. Meantime, the rider in blue has pulled up. That must have damaged Kenneth Hansen's bike there. And now coming through into 2nd is Oliver Berntsen. It's all happening in this race. In the space of just over a lap, it's gone from a 5-1 to Rospiggarna into a 5-1 for Dackarna. What an extraordinary race. Out in front in yellow, it is Jakob Torshäll. Berntsen in 2nd place, and that's how it's going to finish. 3rd place in red for Timo Lahti, and Kenneth Hansen's out. Well, a fairly lacklustre meeting so far, and suddenly it's come to life. That work on the track must have made a difference. Jakob Torshäll, the winner. Oh, and a confrontation here with Kenneth Hansen. What was that all about, says Kenneth Hansen. It's clearly damaged Kenneth's bike in some way. Try and see again what happened there. Thankfully that situation seems to have diffused itself. Well, there's so much going on there, we will have to have a look again. 34-26, incidentally, is now the score. It's Hansen who made the gate. Lahti got the cutback in red on the first turn. And then Jakob Torshäll smashed into the back of Kenneth Hansen. He'd already got ahead of Lahti through turns 3 and 4. There's the contact. And that clearly caused damage to Kenneth Hansen's machine and put him out of the race. Lahti ran wide then on the next turn, and Berntsen was able to come through as well, turning what looked initially like a Rospiggarna 5-1 into a Dackarna 5-1. Extraordinary. So Jakob Torshäll now has 12 points. Jakob Torshäll and Oliver Berntsen have both already taken tactical substitute rides, so we won't see them come in here. Strange one, that. We see it again from the higher angle. In blue, Kai Huckenbeck. Gate 3 in yellow, Hans Andersen, and gate 4 in red, Rasmus Jensen. Kai Huckenbeck, the only one of these four to have won a heat so far. He won heat 2. He's on 4+1. Jensen on 5. Andersen on 4. Van Dijk, no score. Into position then, ready for heat number 11. (34-26) the score. Which way is this one going to go then? Is Rospiggarna going to pull some of their advantage back out again? Weak link is the man on the inside here for Dackarna in white. Avon Van Dijk, no score. He was substituted in his last ride by Jakob Torshäll in heat 9. They need a strong ride from Hans Andersen here in yellow. He looked quicker in his last ride. Couldn't quite catch Kenneth Hansen for the win though in heat 8. See what's going to happen this time then. Van Dijk, Huckenbeck, Andersen and Jensen. Revs begin to rise and away they go. Good start by Kai Huckenbeck, good start by Andersen. Will try and get across the German into the first turn, but it's Huckenbeck who holds the lead. Now here comes Jensen around the outside, they're side by side down the back straight, and Andersen just about holds that second place. It's Kai Huckenbeck who's got the lead, looking for his second win of the evening. Andersen to the inside into the second lap. Third place in red is Rasmus Jensen. Van Dijk at the back. Now Jensen tries to get a run on Andersen, who gets some lift down the back straights. He's holding that second place, trying to close down Kai Huckenbeck. German leads the way. It's a 4-2 as it stands at the moment, so the lead will increase by just a couple of points. Following this one, will be up to 10 with 4 races to go. Huckenbeck from Andersen into the final lap. Rasmus Jensen chasing hard in third. Tailed off at the back is Avon Van Dijk. Looks like he's going home scoreless tonight, so it's what happens in heat 13. Rasmus Jensen, one last effort around the outside. Huckenbeck's going to take the win. Andersen will hang on for second. Jensen third to 4-2 from heat number 11. Second win of the night for Kai Huckenbeck. And the lead is now 10 points, 38-28 with 4 races to run. Kai Huckenbeck moves on to 7+1 from his 4 regular rides. Rasmus Jensen is on 6. Hans Andersen on 6. No points for Avon Van Dijk. We'll see him in the lower scorers race, heat 13. Kai Huckenbeck, up and down sort of evening. 2 wins, a third. Made a good start there, gated level with Hans Andersen, who tried to get the overlap around the outside there and close him down, but couldn't do so, and he had to deal with the attentions of Rasmus Jensen. Repeated attacks around the outside from the man in red. Avon Van Dijk, though, never in the hunt for points in that one. Disappointing evening for the youngster. Kai Huckenbeck able to hang on in front all the way to take the victory. Heat 12 coming up next. We hear the 2-minute buzzer in the background. Thomas Jonassen and Daniel Henderson taking on Joel Kling and Oliver Berntsen in this one. Will we see Joel Kling replaced in this one? He's only got 1 point so far. With the 2-minute warning having sounded fairly quickly after the last race, I don't think we will. We'll wait and confirm in a second. There's Thomas Jonassen in red off gate 1. Daniel Henderson will be off gate 3. Oliver Berntsen off gate 4 in yellow, and it should be Joel Kling, gate 2 in white. He's on 1 point. Berntsen on 9+1. The only tactical substitute they could really have used was Hans Andersen, because Torshäll and Berntsen have already taken tact sub rides. Can only take 1 each. Dackarna just haven't quite got the lower end strength that they need to. It's the side trying to fight with Leonen for the lead in the Bauhaus Liga. Well, it certainly looks as though Leonen will hold on top, though. They're 35-19 ahead against Piraten at the bottom club. That's where Vestavik and Massana 30 apiece, Vetlanda 35, Indiana 31. These scores from elsewhere. So the last of the regular heats tonight before we go into the nominated races. We are ready for heat number 12. From the inside, Jonassen, Kling, Henderson and Berntsen. Let's rise and away they go. Down to the first turn, great start by Thomas Jonassen, leads the way into the first turn, and Henderson's got out with him. Daniel Henderson, very impressive in the Swedish League this season. Oliver Berntsen finds himself on the wrong end of a 5-1. Can he chase down the Rospiggarna pairing ahead of him? This would be enough to seal the win for Rospiggarna if it stays like this. Henderson nearly clips his teammate's back wheel there coming out of turn 2. You don't want teammates taking each other out at any time. Oliver Berntsen in third place, Joel Kling at the back, just the 1 point for him so far. A weak tail end, the problem for Dackarna tonight. Better all-round strength for Rospiggarna, just a couple of no scores for them tonight. Henderson still a little bit out of shape coming off the turns though. He's holding that second place behind Thomas Jonassen. Berntsen trying to close in. He's going to get round the outside here on turns 3 and 4, attacking Henderson. I don't think he's going to do it. It's going to be another 5-1 to the home side. The win goes to Thomas Jonassen ahead of Daniel Henderson. Berntsen in third, Kling at the back. That's a 5-1 to Rospiggarna. That shows the matchup with 3 races to spare. 43-29. Even 3 5-1s won't do it now for Dackarna. They go down to a defeat here in Hallstavik. Thomas Jonassen taking the win. He's on 9+1 from his 4 rides so far. 7+4 for Daniel Henderson. He's the bonus point king tonight. Third place for Oliver Berntsen. He's on 10+1 and 1 point for Joel Kling. Fairly clear races the riders are going into by the look of things then. Depends if bonus points are counted as well. We'll see what the team managers Peter Jansson and Peter Karlsson decide. That was Rospiggarna all the way. Great ride by Daniel Henderson once again in blue. We've paid 11 tonight. Could we see him in Heat 15, I wonder? Not sure if bonus points are counted in the totals for the nominated races, to be honest. Even Oliver Berntsen couldn't catch him there, the Grand Prix newcomer. You can see the frustration there as he crossed the line. Welcome back to Sweden, where we can see live footage of Peter Karlsson making his choices for the nominated races. Home manager Peter Jansson's already done his, as you can see. And here are your lineups. Not too often we get to see this done live by the team managers. No problem for Peter Karlsson, of course. In go his choices. So Heat 13, Rasmus Jensen and Kenneth Hansen will take on Theo Johansson and Avon van Dijk for Dackarna. In Heat number 13, Rasmus Jensen on 6 points and Hansen 5+2. Johansson and van Dijk no points. Heat 14, Timo Lahti and Kai Huckenbeck take on Hans Andersson and Joel Kling. And for Heat 15, Daniel Henderson. I wonder if bonus points would be in the equation. He gets a Heat 15 nomination along with Thomas H. Jonassen, taking on Jakob Torshäll and Oliver Berntsen. There are your lineups for Heats 13 to 15. As well, the 2-minute buzzer goes for Heat set number 13. Rasmus Jensen in red and Kenneth Hansen in blue. They do have a habit of switching the helmet colours and the gates after they've made their nominations, though, so we do have to make sure. It will be Theo Johansson in white, I believe, and Avon van Dijk in yellow for Dackarna in this one. Quick hello to Pam Hallam on Twitter, who says, certainly getting our money's worth out of Premier Sports Speedway coverage, so pleased I signed up. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, Pam. That certainly means a lot to hear. Lining up then for Heat number 13. Theo Johansson and Avon van Dijk out there for the visitors, and they haven't scored a point between them yet. We've got Rasmus Jensen, who's on 6, and Kenneth Hansen on 5+2. Now, you would say on previous form, this is an almost certain home 5-1. But anything can happen in Speedway. And here in Sweden, it usually does. It is Theo Johansson in white, Avon van Dijk in yellow. Rasmus Jensen's got the more favourable inside gates. Will he get his first race win of the night here? The only one to have won a race so far out of these four is Kenneth Hansen. He took Heat 8. Jensen, Johansson, Hansen and Van Dijk. Away they go. Rasmus Jensen, super getaway from the inside in red. He's already clear into the first turn. Van Dijk with a better start this time, going round the outside of Kenneth Hansen. Now with that damage from the collision with Jakob Torshäll earlier on, Kenneth Hansen may not be on his quickest bike, and Van Dijk up into second place in yellow. This is better from young Avon Van Dijk, up into second. He split the Rospiggarna pairing. He's going after Rasmus Jensen. Jensen finds some grip out of turn 2, pulls away down the back straights. Third place in blue, it is Kenneth Hansen. Avon Van Dijk looking much quicker up there than he has so far. Up there in second place, going for his first points of the evening. Theo Johansson, the youngster, is at the back. 4-2 in the offing here, but Kenneth Hansen's fighting back. Has a look on the inside, coming out of turn 4 there. Can he get up with Avon Van Dijk around turn 2? Not quite. Rasmus Jensen is going to take the win in red and finish with 9 points for the evening. Is Van Dijk going to hang on for second? He certainly is. Kenneth Hansen takes third, and Theo Johansson at the back. That's a 4-2 from Heats number 13. 47-31 now the score. So 9 points for the evening for Rasmus Jensen. Kenneth Hansen will finish on 6 plus 2. 2 points for Avon Van Dijk, and sadly nothing for Theo Johansson. Rasmus Jensen jetted away at the start there from gate 1 and clear at the front, but the surprise, Avon Van Dijk. Here's how he did it, round the outside on turn 2, side by side with Kenneth Hansen, pulling ahead down the back straight. It's a good ride by Avon Van Dijk. He's only a youngster, newcomer to the Bauhaus Liga this season. And had Rasmus Jensen in his sights there in the early stages. The Dane, though, able to pull away to take the win. Kenneth Hansen, a frustrating end to his night. 4-2 from heat number 13, Rospiggarna 47, Dackarna 31. Heat 14 on the way next. We will have Timo Lahti and Kai Huckenbeck take on Joel. I'm just got to confirm the helmet colours here. Anyway, so it looks like it's Kai Huckenbeck in red and Timo Lahti in blue. Joel Kling in white, Hans Andersen in yellow. The gate positions given on that board, which we see there, don't always match the helmet colours that I've got, so apologies if I do get it wrong. So gate 1 in yellow, we have Hans Andersen. Off gate 2 in blue, it is Timo Lahti. Gate 3 in white, Joel Kling. And gate 4 in red, Kai Huckenbeck. He's on 7 plus 1, Lahti on 9. Joel Kling with just 1 point and Hans Andersen on 6. Lahti should be the favourite here. He's had 2 wins already, heats 5 and 7. Kai Huckenbeck's had 2 wins as well. Hans Andersen without a win tonight, which we don't say too often about the experienced Dane. Can he make the most of gate 1 here? (47-31) the score, so the win already sewn up by Rospiggarna. I think they will stay second in the table on race points difference tonight, with Leonen set for a big win over Boston Club at Pirota. This is heat 14 then. Revs begin to rise. Watch for Andersen off gate 1. A bit of an uneven start there. Lahti gets out with Andersen into the first turn. It's the Dane that leads the way. Lahti cuts back up the inside. And look at the man in red round the outside there. Kai Huckenbeck. 3 wide as they go towards turn 3 almost. Kai Huckenbeck making good use of the outside line here in red. And it's Rospiggarna 1 and 2. Joel Kling perhaps slightly predictably left behind in this one. But Hans Andersen being left behind now by the Rospiggarna pairing. That was a superb first turn by Kai Huckenbeck. Now he moves onto the inside. The man in blue running out wide there, Timo Lahti. It's the German and the Finn ahead of the Dane as they go down the back straight, looking for what will be, I think, the 5th 5-1 of the night for Rospiggarna. It certainly has been a strong all-round performance by them tonight. Hans Andersen is not going to catch them. He's been slightly disappointing this evening. Up on the back wheel there, the man in red, Kai Huckenbeck. It's going to be Timo Lahti who comes in to take the win in blue. Huckenbeck second, Anderson third, Joel Kling at the back. The win goes to the Finn. 12 points for Timo Lahti tonight, and Kai Huckenbeck in second place. 9 plus 2 for him. Third place going to Hans Andersen. Only 7 for the Dane tonight. And Joel Kling finishes with 1 point. (52-32). Now the score with 1 heat to go. That will be, of course, Thomas Jonassen and Daniel Henderson. Well done to him getting a Heat 15 nomination, taking on Jakob Torsch. A bit of an uneven start there. Lahti managing to get a good cut back there on Hans Andersen. Look at Huckenbeck round the outside of everybody. Nearly clipped his teammate there going into turn 3. Hans Andersen left wondering where he'd come from there, I think, on the first turn. And from then on, Rospiggarna all the way. Dackarna, no all-round strength tonight. That's really been their downfall. Let's see if they can make amends with a heat advantage in Heat 15. They've only taken 2 heat advantages so far tonight in Heats 9 and 10, the visitors. Ready for Heat number 15 then. There is the away pairing up to the tapes. Looks like it's Oliver Berntsson in yellow and Jakob Torschell in white. Daniel Henderson is in red and Thomas Jonassen in blue. So Jonassen off the inside gate. Daniel Henderson, excuse me, off the inside gate. There is Jonassen off gate 3 in blue, apologies there. Jakob Torschell off the outside in the white helmet. Oliver Berntsson from gate 2 in yellow. Maybe fixed gates for each team, but in Heats 13 to 15, the team managers seem to have free rein which helmet colours and gate positions they put their riders in, despite what they put on the nominations board in the pits. Which doesn't help me when I'm filling my race card. But anyway, we're ready for the final race of the night here in Sweden. Henderson, Torschell, Jonassen and Berntsson. And Dackarna get a bit of pride restored with a heat advantage of their own here. We're about to find out. Revs rise and away they go. Can Daniel Henderson crown his night with a win? Well, he's made a great start from gate 1. Across from the outside comes Jakob Torschell. Third place is Thomas Jonassen as they head down the back straight now. Torschell has looked quick all evening, tries to go for the outside on turns 3 and 4, but he's out of shape there. Henderson holds it off. Here comes Jonassen through on the inside, up into second place. Berntsson at the back in yellow, and Berntsson hits his teammate coming through turn 2. What was that all about? Well, Dackarna making a right meal of this one. Daniel Henderson it is who leads the way. He really has been the surprise of the night. He'll have paid 14 if he stays out in front. Thomas Jonassen giving chase. It's Torschell in third position. Berntsson at the back. They were lucky not to take each other out there coming through turn 2. Daniel Henderson, a brilliant night for him. He's heading for his best ever score in the Bauhaus Liga. Chased by Thomas Jonassen. And well, this is going to be a very substantial victory for the home side, Rospiggarna. Torschell with the last effort round the outside. He's not going to do it. It's another 5-1. Win goes to Daniel Henderson. Keep an eye on this name in World Speedway. 10 plus 4 for him tonight. Second place going to Jonassen. 11 plus 2 for him. Jakob Torschell taking third. He finishes with 13. Oliver Berntsson on 10 plus 1. We'll take you through the full scorers in a moment. But Rospiggarna bask in celebration then. Second 5-1 in a row. The final score of Rospiggarna 57, Dackarna 33. I did not think we'd see a winning margin that strong tonight. Superb from Rospiggarna. Dackarna disappointing, with the exception of the really. Daniel Henderson, that's his best ever meeting of his career, I would think. Leading all the way from the inside there. Thomas Jonassen had to get past Jakob Torschell. The outside line not working for him. A mistake there through turn 4, dropping into third. And then Oliver Berntsson crashing into the back of Jakob Torshäll as Torshäll came across to, I think Torshäll came across to try and retake Jonasson and didn't realise that Oliver Berntsen was there. Miscommunication among the Dackarna riders, and it's another Rospiggarna 5-1. Let's give you the individual scores then. For Rospiggarna, Rasmus Jensen finished on 9, Kenneth Hansen 6 and 2, Thomas Jonasson 11 plus 2, Kai Huckenbeck 9 plus 2, Timo Lahti 12, and Daniel Henderson 10 plus 4. For Dackarna, Jakob Torshäll 13, Joel Kling scored 1, Hans Andersson on 7, no score for Theo Johansson, 10 plus 1, and Avon van Dijk scored 2. Double donuts there from Jonasson and Henderson. Final score 57 to 33. We'll have a quick look at the other matches which are still going on. Well, Leon and I can tell you have beaten Pirotten up. It's 47-25 there, so that with 3 heats to go is already sewn up. Vestavik 39, Masana 33. That one's still up for grabs, and Vetlanda have beaten Indiana. It's 45-39 with a race to go. So Vetlanda move on
Jo, liebe Bahnsportfreunde und Bahnsportfreundinnen, das war's wieder heute mit Bahnsport TV. Tja, die Begegnung Rospiggarna Hallstavik gegen Dackarna Malilla ging aus mit 57 zu 33. Sehr viele 5-1er-Läufe. Für Rospiggarna war interessant zu sehen. Auch eine unschöne Szene, aber gut, so ist Rennen. Wie sagen die Polen immer, takie Schuschel. Wir sagen, so ist Speedway. In dem Sinne wünsche ich euch noch eine schöne Zeit. Macht's gut, bis demnächst. Euer Bandi von Bahnsport TV. Ciao, ciao.